What is going on?
What
Oh
is up?
boy.
What is up? And welcome to another episode of the It's For Me
Oh
podcast. I know we usually do this on Thursdays at 9 o'clock, but my buddy, his work schedule is
well,
wonky, so we had to move it to Tuesdays at 6
well.
p.m.
Think of this too. Time I'm working a full time job, so my work days are going to be like I said, it's going to be very wonky, to say the least.
But we got some news.
No, this isn't just news in general, because man, wrestling has been just woof.
Honestly, this is not WWE. WWE doesn't have any news. This is all for the past week has been AEW.
Shit, yeah.
First
And
things first things first, before I touch on what's going on with AEW. AEW, it seems like it's imploding.
that's what I just said that on my Fall Guy stream, that this company might go under. I do believe because Tony Khan ain't doing fucking shit to fix it.
It's not, the problem is it's not booking, it's not storylines being terrible. It's backstage. You have Tony Khan all pissy that WWE is holding a pay-per-view on the same day. But you got to think of it this way. They held the freaking pay-per-view at like 4 o'clock. Their pay-per-view was at 8.
Yeah, that is true.
And another thing, too. First thing that happens, you have two wrestlers fighting over a promo. Then you have another set of wrestlers fighting over a promo.
And you have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks threaten to walk out. I mean, it's been a lot of fucking stuff that's been going on backstage.
Like, there's so much. And then you have wrestlers complaining about booking. And then this culminates in the freaking media scrum incident this Sunday.
Yeah, which also
where CM Punk was just going off. And then after the media scrum, we have goddamn CM Punk, his little buddy, fighting the Young Bucks. Fighting. Like, literally throwing hands. Throwing chairs. Having a legitimate fight backstage.
Yeah. That's
like they're in goddamn prison. It's a prison riot backstage.
Pretty yeah, I mean that's the best way you can put that. The way you can describe that. Because good lord.
And then all this is because of a promo. A promo.
Oh, it's just it's
and the thing is, here's where I'm on the fence about this whole situation. Should have Hangman Page consulted CM Punk before the promo? Yes. He's in the wrong too. I'm not gonna say that CM Punk is lying, that he shouldn't have said what he said. Yes, Hangman Page shouldn't have said what he said.
Yeah, because you really don't want to do not want to burn bridges with your.
There was a line there. There was a line between him and CM Punk, and he crossed that line.
Yeah, once you.
But the way CM Punk handled that situation,
that was immature.
So goddamn unprofessional.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the way I see it's like, okay, because let's think of it this way: if CM Punk, I know, he does get his fair share of criticism, that's for sure. Because let's just say, like, if everything, like, if he went to, because, like, say hypothetically, if he went to Adam Hangman Page and said, "Look, keep my personal life out of your mouth," like, just like be more professional that way, kind of talk one-on-one.
Look, man, you should have really, say, look, man, you should have consulted me about this. What you said was really hurtful. But
just try to be more professional with it.
If you're willing to apologize, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. And if you don't apologize, we're just not going to even talk.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But
let's just go and let's just fight your buddies because they're backing you. Like, what?
It's a complete mess. That's all we're saying. In
And what's
terms,
even worse is in this situation, Tony Khan punished one freaking person in that fight. One.
that's ridiculous. That's some bullshit.
One. And that was the guy who they had recently signed to cut this promo on CM Punk, motivating him to do a match at All Out. He was there for an appearance. I don't even know why he was even signed. They fired his ass.
What's good, Steve? What's good, Butterfly? Shout out to everybody, though. But yeah, it's for those who are just coming in. This is pretty much all AEW banter because holy crap, it's been the mess this past week. Not just that too. Then you got, and also you really think about it too. Even Chris Jericho knew, and if you're talking about one of the Chris Jericho
said AEW wouldn't implode unless WWE is on the come up, because he saw this shit coming from a mile away. If WWE's on the come up, he knows Tony Khan's going to get panicky.
Yeah,
and the whole entire landscape is going to change. AEW management, the wrestlers, everybody's going to get panicky. They're going to get tense. They're going to fight. They're going to implode from the inside, and that's what's happening.
And a lot of times it's just like, look, whether you like or hate Chris Jericho, for the longest time, he knows in and out of the best business for the last 30 years, which is crazy enough as to think about.
If you hear what he says, the only take that I don't agree with was this take about China. That's it. But the other takes he had, he knows what he's freaking talking about.
He's been there, done that for years. He's seen he's seen the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of the wrestling business.
He's seen it all. He's seen it all for the last 30 years.
I mean, shit.
He's seen WCW.
I was just about to go there for WCW.
He's seen WCW implode. Yeah, he was in WWE at the time because he signed in '99, and WCW didn't get bought out until 2001 when he was already in WWE.
And I think he knew the company was already on its way out as it was at the time.
That's why he left WCW, because in
that was a smart move on his own too.
Yeah, in 1999, everything was going to shit. And that's what's happening to AEW right now. Everything is going to shit.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, absolutely. Because, I mean, shit. I mean, and I can say perfect personal experience. I mean, when I used to watch WCW back in 1999, and even the 2000s, it was not the same. And when I looked at the older episodes of WCW, shit was completely different. It's like the booking was absolutely dog shit. I mean, you really cannot.
That's what makes it a bit different from WCW, is that the booking is kind of hit and miss, but it's not all bad.
Hey, no, it's really isn't.
2001, that should be bad. But
fuck you, Vince Russo for that.
But AEW has had some misses here and there.
Oh yeah,
it's not all bad. It's not all bad, but the problem is that backstage it's getting toxic and fast.
Yeah,
because now you have Eddie Kingston and goddamn Sammy Guevara fighting. They since apologized and stuff, which is fine. But then now you have the whole Colt Cabana thing getting brought up again, the media scrum, and then CM Punk going like, fuck the reporters and fuck the people who believe it, and fuck this and fuck that, and fuck Hangman Page, and then fighting the Bucks, and it's a mess at this point. It's a flaming dumpster fire.
No, it's like a dumpster fire inside a dumpster fire.
It's a flaming dumpster fire inside of another flaming dumpster fire inside of a freaking car that's crashing into a goddamn pole.
And it's already bad enough. When you mentioned some of the bad booking, I mean, you have some wrestlers. I mean, perfect example. I mean, you have Wardlow actually expressed his what I can say frustration, even though it was more in a professional manner of how he's being used.
That's the thing. Some wrestlers are handling it well. I never even knew that Wardlow even had booking issues, at all. He's being booked, for shows, but he's booking a 6-man tag for All Out, which was stupid.
And the fact you have him as your TNT champion,
Have him defend the fucking belt. Have him defend the belt, and have goddamn FTR defend 2 of their belts or whatever the hell. Hell, have them defend their ROH titles.
Yeah,
that they barely even defend anymore.
That's oi.
They barely even defend them anymore. They just show up for this random 6-man tag match. The wrong people won. And the thing is, though, I heard it All Out. Every match had the wrong person win it. Every match, and it was stupid.
That's bad.
Every match, that's bad. That's terrible. So yeah, you can say the pay-per-views are being badly booked because they are.
Oh yeah, you could not like the very first. Well, because I didn't want. I mean, the fact that even All Out had 15 fucking matches, like that should not have happened in the first place.
Here's the thing, and that's what makes it worse too. They have a 4-hour pay-per-view. They don't even have a streaming service to cut down on the price like WWE has. You pay like $10 for a 2-hour pay-per-view for WWE. You know what you have for AEW? Sorry, you got to pay $60 for a 4-hour pay-per-view. Like what? What's up?
That's
You have to pay $60 for a 4-hour pay-per-view, as opposed to
like 10
a month. As opposed to $10 a month on Peacock for WWE pay-per-views.
And going back to that too, like in the WWE problem is a lot better than it was. Was it 3 years ago?
No, literally a year ago.
About a year ago, give or take. But
a year ago to this day, the booking had been shit last year.
Yeah, shit. You have some superstars get mismanaged and all this shit. But we're seeing,
literally in 2020, 2 years ago, half their roster gets cut.
Yeah, it really set the wrestling community ablaze, so to speak.
It was like every day there's like a new list of wrestlers getting cut in 2020.
And most of us did have a gripe about, like some of the stars that they dropped the ball on.
And some of them are coming back.
Which is
we were pissed about Braun Strowman being cut.
But no, and here it comes back on Monday Night Raw and kick and destroys everybody.
The thing is, now they're trying to make him a babyface on SmackDown. Which makes sense because he literally destroyed every freaking body in the ring on Monday. Everyone. And you're trying to make him a face? No, that's a heel move.
Yeah, I would say Gilmore. I think he's better as a heel than a babyface.
That's a heel move. If I know a heel move, trust
me,
everybody.
I think none of us here at the Spotlight Sports ever did that fucking pay-per-view.
Literally, I didn't even watch it. Well, I watched some of it, and then it started buffering on the site I was using because I don't want to pay for fucking BR.
No, exactly. See, this is where WWE.
You can the WWE pay-per-views are way cheaper because they're on Peacock for like $10 a month, or like I think $10 a month.
I think you also
It's basically the price of Netflix. That's how cheap it is compared to $60 a pop for a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Like once every
once every like 2 months when they do
exactly and you have the WWE's like doing what, like once a month, give or take, depending on the time.
They may do I think they do a pay-per-view like every month, every single month.
I'm thinking about that's like. Yeah, you're getting a lot
because we're sitting there, we're complaining it's too much, but compared to AEW and them skipping out on the freaking price, it's not that.
Oh, that is fucking nuts.
$60 for a 4-hour goddamn pay.
Like we could get that like $50, like $50 less for less time.
Literally $50 less for maybe a 3-hour tops of a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. It's just been
hell. We complained about WrestleMania being like 8 hours long, give or take.
Well, because now WrestleMania the last couple of years has been night 1 and 2. So I mean,
that's why people love it because they listen. Because they have too many freaking matches on that card, so they cut it out. They split the 2 nights, and it's $10 a month.
And think about this too, and also give some of the other superstars a break in that between, depending on which night they're on. Let's say, oh, I don't know. Let's say Matt Riddle is not on the card from night 1, but he's going to be on the night for night 2. You got some wrestlers that are going to be like very refreshed they're going to be ready to go. Depending, like I said, depending on what night you're looking.
And it also works too for the Raw after WrestleMania. If you're working night one, you don't work until Raw.
Exactly. It's like that's like the. It's like common sense. Like you don't want to burn out your wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You
know,
don't want to burn out the wrestlers. You don't want to burn out the fan base. Because by the end of WrestleMania, like I think when they were doing the 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour pay per views, fans were getting tired by like the third hour, fourth hour.
yeah, that's yeah.
That's not good. And I remember back in the day when WrestleMania used to be like 3 hours long and it was done.
Oh yeah.
It was like a standard pay per view, but it felt like a big pay per view because they had a lot of shit going on. But it was like, and also I don't like the fact that they put in freaking random ass concerts in between the goddamn matches.
Yeah, that's that's kind of the biggest nitpick.
I do like them getting talent like singers and stuff to do the national anthem
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because
Well,
the Super Bowl has it.
yeah.
The
Well,
Super Bowl has that. But the thing is, there's
I
no
don't know.
half times in wrestling, so
No.
random ass concert in the middle of a goddamn wrestling show.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but I mean, I kind of understand where they were going with that, but it's like I didn't really think of it that way. And
I
then
understood where they were going. I understood what they were going with that, but I'm thinking, wait, there's no halftime in wrestling.
exactly. Like,
So why are they having a concert in between a match?
What sense does that exactly? What sense does that make?
And it extends the show by like a few more minutes, and it's stupid.
It's just like if you cut that out, I mean, you will still retain a good chunk, a great chunk of the fan base, because I feel like that's if you don't want to have to add something like these random stuff to drag shows on. I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know.
But I do like the only thing I like about the AEW pay-per-views and stuff that they don't have random ass concert. But the thing is, they
It's
overbooked shit. They've overbooked pay-per-views.
yeah,
Big
and
time.
it's just not great.
I feel like this is the beginning of the end for AEW. I hate to say it.
You know
hate
what?
to say that.
And, I think you and I think that's like, what's it? What 3 years now?
It's been 3 years since AEW.
Didn't we not say like in one of our shows that
This
we were-
October was 4 years.
yeah? Oh Christ!
AEW became a thing. But I don't even think they're going to see a fifth year if things keep going the way it's going south.
Tara, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you said something about that. It's like they're not going to last what 3 or 4 years, give or take, when the first AEW had their first show.
I said before AEW even came into existence. I think like a year after they came into existence. I said I hope they're not like WCW, and tensions don't rise, and they don't do shitty pay-per-views.
It's I never said this too, but mentally I say if this company can just I think I feel like we're the downfall, not just from this situation, but if you look back since then, like they've been taking a tremendous amount of shots to the WWE, which I feel like was led to their downfall.
And that's another thing that I want to talk about. The constant goddamn shots for the last 3-4 years at WWE. And then now Tony Khan being a hostile fuckhead.
And I think another guy, and this is another guy I feel like that needs to get out of there, and that's MJF. Because let's be real, AEW does not deserve a talent like MJF. I am sorry.
Honestly, and that's why fans were cheering at his freaking rant, which felt real, which I think is still kind of real.
I share his frustration. I mean, shit.
Because
got one of the greatest, youngest. What I think
everything that man said in that promo a few months back.
Oh yeah,
that shit had to have actually fucking happened. Because Tony Khan is a fuckhead who doesn't want to pay money to his talents.
I mean, shit. At this point, I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think Triple H might. I think Triple H could use him better.
Do you know what Tony Khan is?
Shit,
the wrestling equivalent to his goddamn father.
Yeah.
Can't run a goddamn organization for shit.
Exactly. We've seen how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars are. It's
Oh my
just bad.
God. Just as bad as his goddamn father, Buffalo.
And not to mention too, and we saw, and going back to what we said about the all the frustrations. Now, like you say, you have other three guys. I think, and this is, I think, as crazy as it sounds, I just realized this too. I think Cody realized where AEW was going to head.
Saw
the writing on the wall.
People are saying that all over Twitter, all over Instagram, all over Facebook. Cody Rhodes saw the writing on the goddamn wall, and that's why he left.
And now you're seeing.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Now we're seeing the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega threatening to walk out. I feel like it's just, oh, good Lord.
The thing is, when you have the Elite wanting to walk out,
and also who are the EV of the company as well.
When you have the name of your damn organization wanting to walk,
that's
your company's going to go under in in the next year, Tony. I hate to say it. Because I really was hoping that this would be a great company to have around.
Absolutely.
For years to fucking come. Cody does. Normal guy. Yeah. Cody looks like the genius in all of this. He left when the flames were getting hot. And the flames were hot by the time 2021 hit.
Yeah.
Flames were getting really hot by 2022. And he smelled the smoke.
As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Where there's smoke,
I think he knew.
Yes, I agree. And guess what?
This is where I will say too.
Where there's smoke, hold on. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and freaking Cody Rhodes smelt that shit.
Exactly. And he left. And this is where I think too, and even Cody's run in AEW, I thought was not bad, because I think without him, like, we don't want to see some of these other stars, but
he got guys like Brody Lee over.
God rest his soul.
Like Johnny Hungy over. John Silver over.
Yeah. I mean, he also put over
you got Darby over.
You got probably one of the greatest draws that I've ever seen. I mean, I think he also put Lance Archer over too, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Lance Archer over who?
I think Cody put Archer over, but that's another guy.
Lance Archer got put over numerous times. Not even AEW, not only in AEW either.
Yeah, but I think that's another guy that I feel like that I could do a lot better, because we have not seen a tremendous amount of Lance Archer.
No, we haven't seen a lot of Lance Archer lately. We've only seen him. But you got to think too. The guy was in Japan.
Right. That also takes. But
the thing is, he's back from Japan, so I don't know why he's not being booked.
I have no idea. It's just like we said. I mean, it's just like the booking just has been hit and miss, but it's not been like complete dog shit of what WCW was in the 2000s. But I just feel like there's some wrestlers I feel like that deserve a fresh start. Like,
so where would they get on? My brother's out here freaking dancing.
Really?
Trying to distract me. I was like, don't let me put that camera on you. And he walks off.
But like, I think I feel like if AEW implodes, I mean, there's some on that roster I feel like could use a fresh start. I think Lance Archer could use a fresh start, because that dude has started written all over him. Or I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to Japan and tear it up over there.
Honestly, just go back to Japan, because AEW's become a flaming pile of dog shit.
I mean, this is basically
in terms of like backstage.
Oh,
you don't want that toxicity in your life, Lance.
You don't. I mean,
just stay away from AEW. Go back to Japan. Japan did wonders for your career. Honestly,
that's nuts.
You're one of the highest.
Very good point. Malachi Black. I think
Malachi Black walked after All Out. He walked.
Can't blame him.
His contract was up after AEW All Out.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H brought him back, though. I would not be surprised if he did that, because that's Triple H's guy.
Honestly, I want him back, because he was booked pretty well.
And just all of a sudden,
then he was taken off. Why do you keep walking back and forth?
Oh, God.
But, dude, right, again? My brother keeps distracting the shit out of me right now. I can't even fucking concentrate. Now he's creepily looking in my room. I'm gonna put that camera on you. I'm gonna put that camera on you. Cameo appearance from my brother. Get it on camera. Cameo appearance from my brother. But yeah, Malachi Black walked. And the thing is, he was booked pretty well. He was getting like a whole backstory, and on WTV, he was on SmackDown. Then he was taken off of TV. The next day, he was fired. Like, what?
It's like, not to mention, too, it's just like he had, and at the time, probably one of the greatest matches with Velveteen Dream on NXT. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, my God.
Him and Andrade actually worked really well together.
Dude, their feud was also...
It's just, now it's just... I don't get it anymore.
It was like they were booking House of Black pretty well, and then they put him on the back burner, and then they had him lose it all.
And I know we're gonna probably have some AEW people say, and we're not completely shitting on AEW, because I mean I think there's
like, don't get me wrong, AEW hasn't been terrible, like WWE level terrible when Vince was around, but they.
Something's got to change.
The environment just got toxic, and the thing is, it wasn't always like this.
No, it really wasn't
until CM Punk got there.
Yeah, and we've always
CM Punk gets there, and everything just went to shit.
Pretty much, it's always that one guy, no matter who it is.
Honestly, I'm starting to get why they let him fucking walk and said,
yeah. Absolutely. The fact he was, and it's just like, yeah, it's crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, him complaining.
Oh, this is an interesting question by Chanel. He says he watched All Out.
I watched All Out. I just felt like it was a long review and a lot of matches that didn't need to be added. Just how you guys feel about it. I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. Because there was like a AAA match or a CMLL match I got added for no apparent fucking reason.
I was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
Look, another company's goddamn.
I mean, look, there are times it's like, yes, I know it's unnecessary, but I mean, I give a lot of props to like give some other companies exposure to like whoever's coming, like say from AAA, CMLL.
But now it's not the fucking time.
No, not the way. That's not the way.
Why do you keep pacing around the room? Fucking brother.
Yeah.
I fucking love that dude. But yeah, it's like back around. But yeah, it's like again.
Well, no, but you gotta realize this too, because I mean, then again, that I wouldn't be surprised.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly will be good under Triple H. Bobby Fish too. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't really want Bobby Fish around because he's like in his 40s now. So I really don't.
Because some wrestlers just don't do well as they age.
Like, get the youth movement going.
I mean, you still got Adam Cole. I think he's like 32 or 33, but you still got some. You got some years out you can get out of him. Andrade, I don't know exactly how old he is. I know if he's in his early 30s,
Andrade's like 30s, I think.
If he's early 30s, I think you can still get 5-6 years out of him before we don't know he starts, because usually wrestlers don't. Well, I could be wrong because I know there's some wrestlers that can still go at it. I mean, shit, we've seen Chris Jericho do it, and he's somewhere in his 50s still killing it.
I can't believe this man's pushing 50.
That's fucking nuts. That should tell you how old.
The man's pushing 50. He can wrestle. This man can sing his damn ass off.
I mean, shit. I mean,
he can act, apparently.
I mean, shit. I mean, and people don't remember the Great Muta, and he was still fucking killing it. I think it was like somewhere in the 60s. And we got Sting in the 60s still fucking killing it. It's like,
the man jumped off a goddamn stage.
Exactly. It's just like
what the fuck?
There's some exceptions to look, I know Father Time really doesn't do well for most wrestlers, but some just know how to beat Father Time.
Yeah.
But it's just like nowadays we're seeing the wrestling landscape get younger. I mean, we've seen, who? Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't think off the top of my head. We've seen the guys like, kind of go back to WWE. You see guys like Braun Breaker on the up and coming. I mean, shit, you guys still got Karrion.
Do you know how old Braun Breaker is?
I don't know.
He's around my age.
No fucking. Is he really that? Wow.
He's around my age. He's like in his he's like 24, 25.
That's fucking nuts.
The man looks 35. Like, how's the fuck?
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you still got, Cameron. Oh my God. Him and Ricochet, that match between him and Ricochet was great. Cameron Grimes. I mean, I can see why a lot of people.
But I don't get. But back to the AEW thing. Why is Toon Khan bitching about a pay-per-view that was on at like 4:00 before?
Exactly. That's where I was like.
And ended before his pay-per-view even started.
It's just like, focus on what you need to do. Stop
focus
focusing
on your damn company. Don't focus on WWE shit. Okay.
And that's what, and that's always been the biggest nitpick with Tony Khan, because he's always focused on WWE instead of his own stuff. Like,
this is exactly what killed WCW back in the freaking early 2000s. They were focused on WWE instead of their shit.
Exactly. It's like, so
Blue City, the Rey. Hold on, go back to that one. The Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio and Dominic betrayal was cool. It was, and I loved when he kicked Edge in the nads. Edge's face when he was going down, and he looked betrayed. It was awesome.
Like
why as he's going down?
Like, exactly.
And then he turns to his father and then freaking clotheslines the shit out of his father.
I know.
And did you notice, Rob, when he clotheslined his father? He clotheslined him like Eddie did.
I knew I saw that somewhere. It's just like, where have I seen this before?
He clotheslined him like Eddie did when he.
Wow, when he that's talking about ultimate disrespect.
that right there was the ultimate fucking disrespect.
I'm sorry, but
the funny part is that feud culminated in the custody of fucking Dominic.
I was like, exactly. Oh, man.
So it was basically Dominic saying, like, you're not my real dad, Eddie is.
Exactly. It's the fact that they sold like, how, like, Triple H is a fucking genius. What the hell?
And apparently there was a breakup in the background too. I
don't know, crazy. I feel like I don't know, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like Ray and Dominic and Triple H kind of discussed. I feel like this was like, I guess, Ray's idea, somewhat of his idea.
I feel like they talked, said, "Look, son, you're gonna turn on me. I'm ready for you to loosen the reins, be by yourself as a singles competitor,
and make you a star.
Make you a star." And
God damn it, Rhea, motherfucker.
Yeah. Rhea beat him up so bad that, Dominic was crushing. And you know what's funny? Do you know what I think the start of that was?
Where's that?
When she wrapped her legs around his damn head.
Oh God!
That's where the shit started. That's where the shit started. I'm going to say that when Rhea Ripley did what she did in that corner, he started crushing on her.
But the fact that, as Dominic as a heel.
Hold on. After this, Jason, I'm gonna show you what happened.
Oh God!
Why? but what had happened? That moment in that ring made him crush on her. And I bet you would have done the same thing, Rob, and I would have done the same fucking shit.
Absolutely. But that's here.
I would have turned too. I would have caved and turned too.
But kind of go back to Dominic's heel turn. Like, we all knew this was coming. We all knew that this heel turn was going to come. The question is, when was it going to come? Because we seen how Dominic was acting. Like, this dude just didn't seem.
It was slow. It was a slow turn, and I loved how they did it. It was like he started to get all resentful towards Ray and Edge. It was like,
and the fact he did the ultimate disrespect of did what Eddie did to Ray back then. It's like, God damn!
I didn't pick up on it. But someone wants to make comparisons. That's my buddy.
But and I'm really thinking of this too. Looking at him as I think this might. I think this is gonna work. This is working for him. I feel like that cold blank gaze that he has, and then I think
The man looks like he has no soul in him.
no, exactly.
It was geniusly done.
It was really
Awesomely
done very
done,
well.
man.
And the fact and during the match with him, with his dad and Damian Priest, the fact he gave him a slight little smirk, I was like, Triple H, you creative bastard, you genius.
Honestly, it's I don't put all my praise towards Triple H in that writing. Dominic, though, the acting as a heel,
it's great.
fantastic so far. Doesn't speak, looks like he has no soul. Doesn't give two shits about his father or his uncle.
And the fact that Dom's going to take on Edge next week, that's going to be very interesting.
So Edge is about to fucking go off on his
Oh, yes, he will.
He was like, "Get in the ring, get in the ring."
That would be very interesting if you
So
have
when
Dom.
do you think the match between Dominic and Rey Mysterio is going to have? And where would you guys do with it?
Ooh,
I'm going to have this match.
That's a great question.
I'm going to milk this feud up to maybe TLC.
Because I know we got Extreme Rules coming up soon.
I would probably milk. I wouldn't do Extreme Rules. I'd probably do Edge and Dominic at Extreme Rules.
Okay, I mean,
rematch. Some shenanigans are gonna happen. He's gonna get enraged, and feud continues. Extreme Rules happens. We're gonna have that match.
I forgot about this comment from Juice. It's like he's trying to be like Dom too.
Juice, you get it. You get it, Juice.
Hey, as the saying goes, thick thighs saves lives.
Literally, that's what happened, and I feel like that's what the culmination. That's the culmination.
But I mean,
that's where the shit started. I'm telling you, Juice, that's where the shit started.
And I agree with Normal Guy with this comment too.
Back to the Tony thing. Tony needs to grow some balls. Exactly. Grow some brass.
Exactly. You gotta nut up or shut up. And Juice.
The thing is, Tony Khan sounds like a damn 5-year-old throwing a goddamn temper tantrum. They need to fire Adam Page, a dude extremely unprofessional, and he's a massive risk. No.
Yeah, I would disagree. But it's just like with all this shit.
Now, he pitched in the game for Philly too, and he did good. So I'm not shocked. Jason just looked at me and goes, "Did you know Carlos Reese pitched?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, that's here nor there. But kind of going back to what going back, because it's like, like we said, WWE, as crazy as it sounds, even though we do tend sometimes to shit on it, it's just like the product has started. We've seen the improvement, not just like what we've seen in Raw and SmackDown. I thought Clash of the Cat.
We're seeing it every fucking where. NXT. Worlds Collide was actually really good.
Worlds Collide was great, actually.
Worlds Collide was really fucking great. Clash of the Castle, I had no fucking gripes about it. None.
No, absolutely not. Even though I'm pissed that I fucking took the L on that pay-per-view. Fuck.
I was leading for I was doing good for quite a bit, and then the last fucking match, the main event, snagged my ass. I lost. Yeah. I'm like, damn it.
Well, that's another thing too. Going back to the main event, welcome to the big league, Solo Sikoa. I'm excited for this kid,
dude. If you haven't seen my Instagram reel that I posted on my story, or if you haven't seen it on Facebook or my TikTok, me and Keith flipped.
Oh yeah,
like we flipped, and I couldn't stop saying. Literally, I just kept repeating. Solo Sikoa is in the bloodline. Solo Sikoa is in the bloodline.
Even though it was rumored that he was going to be in the blood.
It was rumored. Shit. It was no. It wasn't rumored. It was speculated by fans.
But the fact that they pulled that shit off, I'm excited. This kid, like, if you have not watched this guy wrestle in NXT, the
man's good. The man is fucking good.
I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, expect the fact you're coming from one of the most famous wrestling families of all time that produced The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Usos. Probably one of the. Let's be. You can't deny that they're going to be one of the greatest tag teams of this generation.
Father.
Rikishi. Even though which is ironic, the Rock did poke fun. And one of his promos, the fact he poked fun out of his own family member, the late Yokozuna.
Shut up, you thong wearing fatty.
That's like
Damn.
that's not how you treat people. But I mean, the late.
What's your family?
Yo, what the hell is up, Jerry? What's good, my boy?
What the fuck up?
And that's just this too. I mean, it also proves the late Yokozuna. I mean, like this, and you still had this family has been known to produce some great talents, and
dude, I can't wait until the Rock's daughter gets on TV.
Oh, that's going to be even interesting to watch because you already got the Usos' younger brother. Now, if she comes up, oh good lord, it's
over. GG's.
I'm sorry. I felt the Anna White family has dominated the world of wrestling for the last how many years at this point?
20, 30, 40 years.
Or how long it had been around. I mean, you still had, and the fact that even in some of the Rock's moments too. I mean, Rock's going to go down with one of the greatest superstars we've seen in years. Let's be real. He's going to be. I think he'd probably be up there with like guys like John. I know John Cena and The Rock are probably two different eras at the time when they came up. But really, looking at what the impact that they've made, that should tell you, yeah, I mean, two different eras, but they were the faces of those eras. Now you definitely make the argument that Stone Cold was also the face of the Attitude Era at the same time. But I still feel like if you had like the top three, that's The Rock, Stone Cold, and John Cena. They've all three made a significant impact on the wrestling business.
Yeah, I feel like Cena dominated the Ruthless Aggression. He was the face of Ruthless Aggression and parts of the PG era. Currently, I feel like Roman's the face at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Guys like Roman, Seth, Drew, they're faces of the company now. I feel like Braun Breaker is going to be the face of the company within a few years.
I could definitely see that.
I feel like, but now you have these new stars coming in, and now you're bringing back the stars that shouldn't have been fired. Now they're going to get booked well. AEW, I feel like now is in trouble.
Oh yeah,
they're in trouble. And the thing is, I'm not for tribalism in wrestling, the whole WWE versus AEW thing, or this company's better, that company's better.
We've seen this once before. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, now we're looking at this from an unbiased standpoint. WWE seems like it's better than AEW because AEW can get out of their own way. They're causing there's havoc backstage, and the booking for their pay-per-view took a massive hit.
Oh yeah, and
it's like everything is just going downhill, and everybody's saying this, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
YouTube. I mean, even
everybody is saying it. AEW is in trouble.
I'll say this too. Even I actually watched this one content creator, the Joe Cronin Show. If you've not watched this show, this dude, if you're talking about being a brutally honest wrestling fan, this guy is it. Let's be real, the fact that he actually made some great points about all the shit was going on backstage, like the fact that it's just basically kind of what we're saying, but he's did it in the most brutal manner, brutal honest manner you could think of. And going back to the way that WWE is, WWE now, with a much better regime, they're rectifying all the wrong mistakes that Vince made the last handful of years.
But the thing is, even when Vince was around, there wasn't this toxic environment where every wrestler was beefing. Yeah, you had a few walkouts.
This is it. So John said this: it's too many chefs in the kitchen, and everybody wants to be on top. But AEW, I feel like Tony. Exactly. That's what we're saying.
That's the problem. And the thing is, once CM Punk came along, that's when
everybody else just got shoved to the wayside.
It was like that. It was kind of like what WCW did with Hulk Hogan.
Ugh,
Hulk Hogan came around. Everybody else got pushed out.
I mean, shit. I mean, you still had guys like Sting in the back in the day. You still had Raven over there. I mean, guys that you may not have actually had some.
And sooner or later, Tony Khan's going to piss off CM Punk. He's going to walk. The company's going to die.
It's just
because
like
that star power is gone.
because
Like
you
all
had
the rest
Cody
of the
leaving.
talent, Cody's leaving. Cody left.
You had
Uh,
you're gonna have
Chris
the
Jericho might, not be there in a few years. He
yeah,
might be retired
or he yeah. I
or
mean,
back in WWE.
and you got the Elite possibly walking out.
At least we're trying to walk. Hangman Page is causing issues.
You got
Kenny
Wardlow
Omega's
already.
trying to walk.
You got Wardlow already frustrated with you.
Wardlow's frustrated.
I mean, who?
Freaking Thunder Rosa had problems with you in the past.
I mean, you have all these, and yeah, and not just that too. It's just like not just CM Punk. I mean, and when they brought like some like top women's competitors, you seen like people like Hikaru Shida get shoved to the wayside. You had
Where the hell has Hikaru Shida even been?
Right, and that's another guy I feel like that's going to walk out. That's MJF.
Yeah. MJF. I think they only gave him this feud with CM Punk to shut him up.
I think Ruby Soho might walk out.
Ruby Soho. The thing is with Ruby Soho, she's getting the same booking treatment that Vince gave her.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Wins smaller matches to gain bigger matches, then loses the bigger match.
It's getting to the point where it's just like, shit. I mean, the fact, like, I thought, coming to AEW was a fresh start, but no, it's the exact same shit that she was.
Same fucking booking that she had in WWE with Vince.
It's just like
same fucking booking.
It's just like if I'm like one of these wrestlers, like I look Wardlow, I can understand. Well, we all know the actual frustration behind it because the way how he's getting, like, we did talk about. It's not great, and then the MJF
one of your stars that you were looking highly upon,
and just
months leading up to him winning the damn TNT title, and now you're booking a random ass 16-man tag match against Impact wrestlers and a person that goddamn another guy that none of the three wrestlers are even feuding with. And
not to mention too, you already had. I also feel that what led to what's coming to the downfall. You had guys like Joey Janela, who I felt was very high thought of, but he was pushed to the wayside.
Joey Janela got fed to Dark, and this is where they mess up with Dark. Dark was supposed to be a developmental program like NXT.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
It has turned quickly to main event and superstars.
Ugh, it's bad.
You have talent like Serpentico getting jobbed on Dynamite, but yeah, he's a mainstay on Dark.
I mean, I think,
which makes no goddamn sense to me.
And the fact that I could also say Ricky Starks is getting screwed. I think, and if you can think about that, and
honestly, not really, because he lost one match to Powerhouse. That's it. I feel like he's gonna get his revenge.
I mean, well, because I mean,
that's the only gripe that I have with people saying, "Oh, Ricky Starks should have won." That would have spelled the end of the feud if Ricky won, because the good guy wins the match.
Most time than not.
If you're gonna have a long feud, have the bad guy win first, and then have the babyface so enraged.
And this is another thing too.
The shit out of Hill next match in the feud.
I'll say this too. I think Hobbs, as crazy as it sounds, if he went elsewhere, I still think Hobbs. I think Hobbs can be a star elsewhere. That's just my opinion. Because I think there's a lot of talent within Powerhouse Hobbs that people might. And that's another thing too. Like Hobbs has got to get ready, and you could agree with this too. We see like Hook is doing. It looks like he's doing great on his own since splitting from team. That Team Taz faction should never happened in the first place.
The thing is, it was good in the beginning, and then it's like slowly fizzled.
Yeah,
because you had first it was Hook that apparently wasn't a part of the group anymore, but technically he kind of was. Because it was a heel faction, but he was a face.
which
for
did
whatever
not make any
reason.
sense.
I'm like, what? Then he started aligning with freaking Danhausen, which was a genius. But the thing is, he was still a part of Team Taz.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that is
what?
true.
And then Team Taz was just Hobbs and
Just
Stark.
Hobbs and
And then
Stark.
Stark's turn, and then Stark's got face turn when Hobbs turned on him.
Yeah,
And then they ended Team Taz. I'm like, you should have ended it months ago when Hook turned face.
exactly. Because I mean, because even I know it's still early in Hook's career. I mean, but I still feel like you got something to work with, unless, like we said, I mean, if there's the right booking. But I still, it's just like we said, it's been hit and miss for what, a handful of months at this point.
It's been hit and miss since
It's been
late
almost a year,
2021, pretty much.
almost a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point.
Almost a year. 2020 wasn't bad. 2019 and 2020 weren't bad.
Well, I mean, 2020,
and part of 2021 wasn't bad either.
no, it wasn't. Well, it's just
it was after CM Punk showed up that everything went to shit.
exactly, and just like at first, yeah, I mean, I thought it was great to have him there, but over time, it's just I feel like he overstayed his welcome. And I feel like I mean, look,
it's not the fact that he overstayed his welcome. He's just a massive dickhead.
And I can see
when he doesn't get his way.
Now, looking back at what he during his time in the WWE, I can understand why the company got rid of his ass because of that shit.
He was literally their fucking top champion, and he's pissy about it. Like, what?
That's like what's like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, I got overshadowed by The Rock and Cena. Yeah, because they're The Rock and John Cena.
Because like they were the stars before CM Punk was even existing.
They're the top fucking stars.
Yeah, not just top stars. They're the most well-established stars that people have known for years. Because like CM Punk didn't come into the company until what, 2005, 2006.
2006, he was part of ECW in 06.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that you want to bitch and complain because you had guys like The Rock, who's been here for over 25 years. No, I mean I know the people. I mean, most of us we didn't see him in his early days. As Peter Maivia, but we like me and Tyler can attest. Like when you see him as The Rock, the pie eating, just everything that The Rock stood for.
He established himself as a star,
and probably one of the greatest movie stars we ever see.
Yeah, on and in and out of the ring. It's just he's a star. And the thing is, John Cena established himself.
Exactly.
What did CM Punk do? He wanted the retitle. So,
like that doesn't mean jack shit. Because like the
Jinder Mahal won the goddamn belt. He ain't no star.
God, that was question. For me, I thought that was very questionable. And kind of go back to The Rock and Cena. I mean, The Rock. If you really looked at the early days of The Rock and John Cena, depending what area you looked at, even John Cena actually said this one in the interviews, like he almost got fired from the company. Could you imagine?
He was literally like 2 months away from getting. He was literally going to get his cuts like a month.
Like history could have been a lot.
He was going to get his Christmas cuts.
I was like, no,
in a month because it was like November.
Yeah,
he had the gimmick change in November.
I was like, man, thank God for that gimmick change because that saved his career.
The guy literally was going to get cut in a month if he didn't have that gimmick.
And the WWE would have been a lot different without John Cena.
Yeah,
it's crazy as crazy as it sounds, but without Cena, I mean, I mean, when he came on, that didn't even kickstarted the Ruthless Aggression era, if I'm not mistaken, too. If I'm not correct me if I'm wrong.
It didn't.
But it's just
what literally kickstarted the Ruthless Aggression era was Vince on Raw around the ring were the wrestlers, and he coined the phrase Ruthless Aggression to them.
That would have been that was like 2002, 2003. If I'm not
this
mistaken.
This was literally a week before Cena debut.
Okay, it's just crazy looking at wrestling, the wrestling business in general. I mean, there's some ups and downs, and there's just some shit moments. Like with what's going on with AEW, it's a perfect example of that. Now, who's to say? I mean, well, I don't know what AEW is going to do going forward with all the shit that's has occurred. I mean, they already fired Ace Steel from what I've heard. Exactly. It's like it's very AEW at this point is questionable. I don't think it's like I think I will say this too. I think me and Tyler will say this. I think I would say if AEW doesn't fix their shit, I don't think year 5. I think they might go out fizzle out after year 4. I don't think they're not going to see a 5th year. I would agree with Tyler with that for sure.
They're not going to see a 5th year if their shit continues within the year.
Now,
do you think they bring Sasha and Naomi back in a big way so they can get that crowd pop? Yeah,
absolutely. Because that's this is an interesting thing to really think about.
Could you imagine if Undertaker got cut?
Oh my god, that would be hard. That would be fucking terrible.
One word: pitchforks.
Oh yeah, pitchforks and torches, like because if you really think about it, because you have Scott. I mean, even though we had talked about The Rock and Cena, but a lot of times people like guys like Chris Jericho and The Undertaker sometimes they don't get some of the love that they deserve because because you have guys like The Rock or the Stone Colds or John Cena, for example. Without, I mean, Chris Jericho, yes, I mean, the fact that him and Taker have been around as long as they did, I can't fucking believe that. Yeah, but I mean, but it's just like, they were kind of like, I think The Undertaker was like kind of the blueprint of trying to be an established star, and then you still have got Chris Jericho. I think overall actually was very fun to watch back in the 90s. I mean, what Akaki, I mean, probably would, I mean, shit. Chris Joe, you can get Devi Arca. He's going to go down with the greatest of all time. I mean, I know he's right up there with some of the other established stars, like the Taker, The Rock, Cena. I mean, shit. You can't say that he's also going to go down with the greatest Intercontinental champions that we ever seen in the history of the WWE. I mean, the dude has done it all. A 9-time Intercontinental champion. I think I don't think he was a world titles. I think not that many world title reigns too. I think he's just more of I mean, but you kind of get where I'm going.
Yeah, but yeah, if AEW doesn't fix their shit,
year 5 it's like just at this. I mean, because
stop being a whiny little bitch. Hangman Page, stop disclosing personal shit.
Shit, I mean, yeah.
Young Bucks, you didn't do anything wrong. You backed up your friend, that's fine. Kenny Omega, you backed up your friend, that's fine.
But it's just
focus on your own company and like I just said about CM Punk, stop being a whiny little bitch.
Because it's like
fix the mistakes that your company has. Get your wrestlers a goddamn line. In goddamn line.
Absolutely.
And just fix this.
Because if you do all that, I think overall, year 5 we can see a year 5, but until then,
year 10.
Yeah,
if they have their camaraderie and freaking professionalism,
which
evidently they don't have right now.
That's like all in all, we're just saying it's just an ugly situation for All Elite Wrestling because, and this also stems back to when Triple H took over as head of creative, and I think me and Tyler realized, and you can definitely tell, and somebody's dog is barking.
That's my doggy nephew.
Barking. Before I got brutally interrupted by that. But me and Tyra said, as soon as the WWE was getting their upcomings, you can definitely tell AEW really hit the big red panic button because it's so disorganized. It's
It's
not.
just like after Triple H and Stephanie took over, and things got better for WWE. They got panicky, and Tony Khan just got extremely hostile for some reason. He used to be lighthearted and for the fans and other shit. Now it's like
It's
and now it's like fuck WWE, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck them.
it's just like he's like another Vince McMahon type.
No, he's not a Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon even had more professionalism than that motherfucker, despite the whole affair thing.
Well, that's a whole different situation.
He had more professionalism within the company when it came to treating the talent right, not saying fuck this, fuck that, dropping F-bombs left and fucking right.
It's just
fuck this reporter, fuck that reporter, fuck you, fuck the fans, fuck this.
It's just been it's overall it's just it's an ugly look.
Put it this way: every press conference he's had, every TV appearance he's had, Vince McMahon had more poise than fucking Tony Khan did.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, like the fact, but it's really well. I'm not like you said, minus the entire shit that went down with Vince. But if you look at what Vince was,
take the whole affair shit out of the equation here.
He actually
Vince had more professionalism than Tony Khan ever will have. The way Tony Khan is acting.
Oh yeah, even though at times Vince McMahon was kind of a bit of a stubborn piece of crap, but I mean, even though
like his booking was shitty, but his professionalism was second to none.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that even though at times, the fact that when and who could say the fact he took the WWE to mainstream success.
The guy took a company that was just a territory and made that shit national by like 1985.
What up, Key? What up?
What's up, Key?
And the fact that they're
took that shit national by the 80s, bro.
Exactly, and produced. You got to give him some. There's some blemishes along the way, but he has made a lot of stars in the process. No, you had the 80s. Shit, you had Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Now, I can't say I wasn't there, but that was one of the biggest moments.
I am sorry. Yes, Hulk Hogan was a character. But come on, that finisher was weak. Even for back then. Yeah. A leg drop, really? That's your finisher? That's what you're going with? Shit. A fucking leg drop, bro?
Shit. And
like going to you got quads of fucking steel, but still, bro, that's weak.
Yeah, it's not to mention that move's been watered down over like decades. Like at that.
The thing is, same with a super kick now. Now it seems like looking back, the Sweet Chin Music is weak because it's being used so much.
Oh yeah, Key says she was never a fan of him. Said that was horrible. Yeah, exactly.
It's a leg drop, Key. It's a leg drop.
And
of course, it's horrible.
And going into the Attitude Era, like even though, which is ironic that his son at the time he was not his son-in-law, but it's looking back at his son-in-law kind of poke fun at him. But it's just like you can't script that shit any better than it has to be. But I'm sorry, but I know at times Vince McMahon, like we said, has probably the most probably has the highest professionalism. Like we said, minus all that shit, that negative crap that was kind of attached to his name.
But minus the whole affair thing. Nowadays you can say that man wasn't professional at all because of that.
Oh yeah,
you can say that. But take that shit out.
But like go back 10, 15 years ago. Like it's
not even 10, 15 years ago because he was still doing the whole affair shit. I'm saying take that shit out entirely. Pretend that shit didn't even happen for years.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like the professionalism
he's more professional than Tony Khan's bitch ass.
And as crazy as it sounds, even though like we said, even though he has some blemishes, but the dude was smart. The fact that, like we said, he took a territory that his father ran into, like
the biggest company ever in wrestling.
Like the dude. I mean, at the time, the fact he actually pulled that, and not to mention,
a guy took a company that was probably worth maybe $10,000, maybe even like $100,000.
maybe it's not even in
Made that
today's
shit
money.
made that shit into a fucking $1 billion.
Exactly. Got probably, had his own streaming service. I know, no, we had Peacock because of that. But the fact that he's actually split, like we said, minus all that affair shit that was in there, dude, like we said, took a company, made it mainstream, had its own streaming service, like had all this stuff, made so much more money. Like some of the people want to invest into the company. That is like, that should tell you, like, he actually has some smarts, even though as crazy as it sounds, but looking back at it, because holy crap, but that's here nor there. But
that's all we have for you guys.
It's just
because a lot of this news just gravitated to AEW,
and it's just ugly.
I would talk about the returns, but I don't really want to.
No,
because
the AEW has pretty much been dominating the headlines for the last week,
for sure, dominating the goddamn headlines, and we're angry about it. Like we're not happy.
No, because it's like we this company AEW had potential, but with all
AEW looked like it was going to be one like a TNA type,
like those alternatives.
There's like a little bit of an alternative, and the thing is, with Impact souring a bit,
so, yeah,
all we have again is WWE. So AEW was supposed to be that next alternative,
but it's just,
there's too many toxic pieces in there,
and it's just like they're not focused on their direction, but their mind is elsewhere. Like the way I can describe
they're not realizing they're going down.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That they're not seeing that.
They're not seeing that they're on the downturn. They've already peaked.
Oh yeah,
and instead of staying on top of the mountain, they're falling.
They just like, and it's very bad to the point where like you said, they're not seeing the bigger picture, that they're on the downturn. But it's already bad enough you have wrestlers already frustrated with Tony Khan and how everything that shit's been kind of been ran, with the last almost a year at this point because of that. It's just a hit and miss booking decisions. I mean, it's like, fix your shit. It's all we're trying to say.
Like I wouldn't mind the hit and miss booking if there wasn't any like backstage antics and politics and all the other shit going on. But there's just so much shit, and it's just like AEW is starting to crumble. You're starting to see the cracks, and it's getting bad.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like me and Tyler said, that's all we got for you for the return. I guess you could say the return episode of the It's Really Me podcast. So I
wouldn't say a return episode. I would say it's a new date and time.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like I said. I do apologize for those who are usually watch the show because being a guy working a full-time job, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So it's hard to
and we also apologize we didn't have another WWE pay-per-view review yesterday
because just scheduling.
His job is just crazy.
It's not bad. It's just got to make the money comes first. So I mean,
money.
Oh, this is interesting.
Tony Khan wants to be a wrestling fan first and being a businessman last. You got some great superstars in this company. You don't want to see them walk out the door. Exactly. That is what Tony Khan fails to realize. Yes. Making the fans happy, great. Great for business. Cool. But you got to be a businessman. Learn when to say no.
Exactly. And actually know how to pay your superstars at the same goddamn time.
Your damn talent. But the thing is, he plays the yes man too much.
And that
you want a contract to AEW? Yes. Every time. No, we don't have enough roster spots. There's no guarantee that you'll be on TV.
It's just bad. That's
half
all.
of your goddamn roster, Rob, is not on TV.
That's bad.
That's terrible.
Because you have guys like, I mean, at this, you saw like what could have been if he actually done the right thing. Like we said, Joey Janela, another guy that was obviously tremendously screwed over.
Do you know who else is getting completely screwed over?
Oh crap! I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his fucking name.
His old tag team partner.
Oh, Sonny Kiss.
Getting fucking screwed.
Ooh, yeah,
put on a tag team, made a faction, was on Dynamite, turned heel, hasn't been seen again. What?
Like, it's like, and you have like, some
that right there to me when Sonny Kiss debuted on Dynamite, the first Dynamite show ever, looked like a star to me.
Like that, like Sonny Kiss was like a star in the making.
To me, looked like a star. And now you don't even use Sonny Kiss anymore. Don't even use.
Not to mention too, you could also make the same argument for Hikaru Shida, because remember when they brought in some other better.
Oh my, that's another one. Hikaru Shida, made to look like a star, had the belt on her.
Exactly. I think another one
was pushed aside.
I know that she might have not been a star like someone like Riho, one of those underdog ones. She was another one.
Dude. And Hikaru Shida had the belt. She had the belt until crowds returned. And when she came out with the belt at Daly's Place, with the crowd back, she got a huge ass pop.
Now we don't see that anymore.
You can't tell me she wasn't a star, man. She was a star.
Oh yeah, she was a tremendous star.
She was a huge freaking star, man.
And just completely fizzled. Shit. Who else can I think that's getting screwed in the women's division? I know Hikaru is probably the biggest one we know that's getting screwed in the women's division.
I would say Rio, but Rio wasn't really a star. No one really liked her.
That's what I'm saying. Like she was one of those underdog type of wrestlers. But I feel like, since
the underdog story only works maybe once in a blue moon.
Once every
one wrestler. When you're doing the undercard thing for the same wrestler for years, you're not gonna get over.
And the fact that I feel like she knew that she was so like where the company was heading. So I felt that her staying in Japan, I felt wasn't like I couldn't say for sure. But that she's back.
I think the reason why she went to Japan was she wasn't being booked at all on
and who can blame her?
Not even on Dark, not even on Elevation. She wasn't even being booked.
That's oof.
She was off TV and off YouTube completely.
That's yeah. But I think also too, I don't feel like she's getting screwed. Depending on how you look at it, I know it's a short time, Athena, but I can't say for sure.
No, it's too early.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like
she lost her TNT title match, which people were pissed about it, which I don't know why, because
you still got Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill's a star. I don't know what people were saying. Oh, she can't wrestle. She can't talk on the mic. She's not a good.
She can do everything.
She's not even bad in the ring. She's not even bad on the mic.
No, her costume choices too is impressive. The fact that she's also a nerd too.
I was like, as a Marvel fan, I love her for what she did. I don't know. She dressed up as goddamn She-Hulk, like the classic comic version too.
No, she was also Storm on one show too.
Oh yeah, that was right.
And then she also pulled out Jade from Mortal Kombat too I think the next Dynamite episode, I think it was.
And the fact that if you watched the whole gaming channel for All Elite Wrestling, she's a huge fucking gamer too.
Like
huge
gamer. A lot and the fact, and it's crazy. Like you said, even though now I will say hypothetically, if this is a bad hypothetical, but if she fizzled out, good Lord, that's a huge blow to AEW. I'm just leaving it at that.
Listen, it's true because she's established herself as a
Because
star.
I mean, she's fun to watch, though. I mean, yes, you have some overrated ones in the women's division. That's not Britt Baker, but I mean, Britt Baker's also been there and done that.
Britt Baker's not bad, but the problem is she's a female Roman Reigns. She's overbooked.
Absolutely.
If they used her in moderation, not moderation because she's off TV completely. Put her in mini feuds that don't even involve a title,
and try to help her put stars over, or certainly put some like other female competitors over.
I wouldn't say put other people over because she's a star and she's young,
which is.
But I feel like she doesn't need a title right now.
Exactly, like let the entire women's division like someone like Athena or
let someone like Athena, let someone like Toni Storm, which I'm glad she won. The interim belt. Ruby Soho needs to win a belt.
I mean, just to name a few to give them a chance to really establish themselves.
But they had Britt Baker for the entirety of 2020 into 2021 have the belt. Or no, the entirety of 2021 have the belt.
Yeah.
And most of 2020. Before giving it to Shida.
And we all know how that turned out.
She ended up winning the belt back.
Yep.
The night Shida had a pop.
And it's just like it's like I always say too before because we've been going on for over an hour 17 minutes at this point. So a final thought here is just AEW, fix your shit and actually focus on what you need to do. Don't worry about it because I mean, if you want to put it in the personal context, like basically, in other words, mind your own damn business what the other company's doing. Focus on you. That's all we're saying.
Who gives a shit what WWE is doing?
Because they're doing their thing. They're focused on what they want to do.
The thing is, when you talk to Triple H, when you talk to Stephanie, when you even talk to Vince, they didn't even pay no money to AEW. They said there's no competition. We're focusing on us.
And that's the mindset you should have.
That's what they need to have. Over at AEW, they're like, yeah, fuck WWE. Like, what?
It's just like, don't turn, like, for those who are still here in the chat, have you not watched about, kind of got to know us a little bit? I've seen and lived through the Monday Night Wars. I've seen the demise of WCW.
Right.
And, like, I've seen this once before, over 20 years ago. I know that sounds a little, I know it's long. I know, but that's, but you kind of get the idea.
Don't even mention the number again. Don't even mention 20 years again, bro. You made me feel like I'm like 40.
We're old. That's all we're saying.
You made me feel like I was 40 just now, dude.
Oh, shit. Hey, shit. Think about it this way, too. We won't run that far, but that's here nor there.
Oh, my God. We'll be 40 in 20 years. Oh, shit.
Actually, no.
Shit.
Oh, God. Don't even. But I kind of get the idea because WCW did the exact same thing. And look what happened. They fell flat after 2001. And it just.
They lost so much money that Vince was able to swoop in
and destroy
the fucking company and destroy it from the inside out.
Yeah.
He made one angle for TV that completely destroyed the completely destroyed them. Completely destroyed ECW too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about he also destroyed ECW and brought it back.
Last laugh, and then he was gone. It was gone completely, gone.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too. And that's the mindset you should have. Mind your goddamn business. Focus on you. That's all. That's what me and Tyler are saying to AEW. Focus on your direction. Because if you don't, you're going to fizzle out like WCW as well. I mean, I hate to say it, and I love AEW and WWE. Well, but it's just like, I don't want to see that happen because you got potential right in your fucking hands. Focus on your direction. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because right now your direction is going down. If you can see that you're going, if you see that you're going down, you would make a U-turn, go right back up,
Exactly.
fix your mistakes. That's what WWE did. They saw that they were going down.
Yeah. I mean, shows have been a lot better. I mean, so was the
Shows have been a lot.
pay-per-views.
Shows been tremendously better. I could sit through a 3-hour episode of Raw now.
Yeah, which is crazy.
3 hours, all 3 freaking hours of Raw, bro. I don't even care if
I
they
gotta
cut
say,
it.
too, Raw.
I don't even care. Here's the thing: I don't even care if they cut third out. I don't care.
Because
They don't even have to at this point. All 3 hours have been good.
And think about this too. Even the USA executives at the network,
USA Network is singing their praises.
they're praising the like that should tell you,
And the thing is, Fox was threatening to cancel.
Yeah, cut
get
that
rid of SmackDown.
That's
They were threatening to cut.
Woo!
Now they're not even threatening anymore.
No,
They're
because
like, they're good again. Got us on our good graces.
and if I'm not mistaken, that was like a $7 billion deal too to Fox. Like, oh boy, that's
It was like $7 to $8 billion deal.
That's gonna be fun. Oh boy, but
and looking back, when you're talking in 2020 and 2021, I thought that shit was a bad deal.
But
all of 2022 until after SummerSlam,
I think they're really
that was a good deal. It was a good deal by Fox. Now they're getting their money's worth.
That's like, and then. And I was surprised if freaking USA didn't do the fucking exact same thing because holy crap, Raw was fucking.
I feel like USA was too lenient on Vince with Raw.
But having someone like Fox, who let's be real, knows how to put out some good products.
Yeah, they had. Some
I feel like with Fox, it's like you got to be up to a high standard with them because if you don't produce, we've seen what could have been. Oh yeah, we've seen some what ifs. If shit actually was done right. So I mean, but other than that,
I think there was like an animated comedy that I could cancel after one season because it was so terrible.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good product with Fox, you're fucked.
You're screwed. And I think,
and Fox literally went to WWE and said, "Listen, if you don't change your acts, we're cutting you off of our program list, and you're not going to be." And we're rescinding the deal, and we're refunding you your money.
Which is yikes.
Which is bad for business.
And one final thought too was for that Fox. The fact that when Triple H and Stephanie took over, we seen better writing for both shows, even on pay-per-views, which is always that biggest key to the company. Like, because we thought, who's going to be in charge? Well, who's going to be a part of that writing team? We know Triple H has had a creative. We also heard that Paul Heyman was part of the writing team, which, let's be real, why the dude's a creative fucking genius and knows, and the fact use also not just him on the writing team, use him as a scout out talent to have him try out and see, because right now, like, they got a bright, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like WWE's got a bright future.
Big, I'm only focusing on 3 big pieces to that running team: Triple H, Paul Heyman, and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, absolutely, because
all 3 of those guys have been killing it.
Because if you really think about it, because, with, Triple H and Shawn Michaels already done with their careers, they know how to connect with these younger, new crop of talent that's up and coming and kind of help them along.
They know how to connect not only with the talent themselves, because they were talent themselves, they know how to connect with the fans. They know what makes us tick.
Exactly, and that's what I think too.
And
that's why I think Triple H, I think has done a really good job. I mean, especially the fact that as crazy as it sounds, the Raw has it's crazy the fact that Raw has better viewership than it has been in quite some time.
And the thing is, week by week, it just keeps climbing.
And we could actually sit through a full 3 hours and just
sit through full 3 hours without getting bored. When Vince was running the show, I could watch the first hour because it was basically all you needed was the first full hour. Second and third, I'm looking at my phone, scrolling through Facebook, like whatever.
but out of that, that's all I got. So, any final thoughts on your end before we wrap it up?
WWE, keep what you're doing. You're doing great. We love your product now. Again,
It's just,
AEW, like my buddy Rob said, fix your fucking shit.
I know, and I know, like, we do apologize. I know we swear a lot because this is we did this for the right reasons because of that.
I know we swear a lot, but here's the thing. This ain't for kids. The show ain't for kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is for adults. So no kids are allowed on the podcast.
But
this
just
is for adult. This is for adult fans. Fix your fucking shit.
it really is. I mean, it's not that hard.
Fix your shit. That's all you have to do. It's just
like just focus on like how to fix things.
Literally focus on what you're doing. Focus on fixing this unprofessionalism
And bullshit.
fighting,
cut the toxicity.
tension. Cut the toxicity out of your heads,
Absolutely.
of your attitudes, of the company. The company is like oozing green toxic fumes.
Exactly. Or no,
Yeah.
it's bad. But other than that, I mean, we really have we've probably another one of our better episodes that we've done. I know, like we said, WWE, has pretty much stayed out of the news. It's not a bad thing that they've done that.
It's actually really good that they've stayed out of the news. Because a lot of the news that WWE has been in,
it's been negative.
It's been negative news. This person gets cut, Vince situation, and all this other shit.
And it was putting the company in a bad light to the point where, like, and it actually led to a lot of changes since then.
But the changes have been so good; they've been able to stay out of the limelight in terms of negativity.
Exactly, it's the profession. I mean, shit. It means better professionals. Let's just
put it this way, Rob. Any news that WWE has is just, oh, what's next on Raw? What's next on SmackDown? What's next for this?
It's like they're keeping you on the edge of your seat, or it's just like it's better storytelling.
It's not like that, but it's like news that's not newsworthy. It's like, oh, what's next for this episode of Raw? Oh, rumored to be in this Raw, this SmackDown.
Or what I'm looking forward to is like to certain pay-per-views. I know, like a WrestleMania, and also too WWE. We have one request: make Clash of the Castle a yearly goddamn thing, because the UK fans is fucking great.
UK fans deserve it, and I'm going to speak to UK fans right now. Right now, I'm speaking to UK fans. Y'all are the best fans in all of wrestling.
Especially, the fact that and then
you can make a case that Philly fans are rambunctious, and yeah, they are, but. UK fans,
that's a whole different breed. But
UK fans are loud. They're rambunctious. They chant when they need to chant. They boo when they have to boo. They cheer when they have to cheer. They sing when they want to sing. They chant stuff. They dislike.
It's crazy as the things too, like the fact that at Clash of the Castle, like the crowd gave me like a soccer type of vibes, even though it's in the UK. But the fact when Edge's theme came on, you could hear like the crowd singing his theme too in the crowd too, which is great as well.
I never realized that his damn song was sing-alongable.
I mean, and the fact that
I could see Judas, Chris Jericho, but Metalingus,
which is crazy. I had that in my Spotify playlist too.
Great ass song.
But not just that too. I mean, we've seen wrestlers who came from the UK. Sheamus, God bless him for taking a fucking beating. Good Lord.
Sheamus deserved the flowers that he got after that match.
And
he deserved it.
Absolutely. I mean, another guy that I felt like was well deserved was Drew McIntyre.
Can I tell you something? I'm glad they brought back Broken Dreams.
I'm fucking happy.
I don't care if it was just for a fucking hype promo and then they played his new music. Here's the thing. That song only works when he's a Scottish psychopath. He's not the psychopath.
No. I think
he's the warrior. So that new theme works for him.
And it's just
for him to bring that back,
yeah, it's and the fact that and to talk about the pop that's gotten from that, and the fact that, and not just Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I know they got tremendous. I think another guy I felt like that was also well deserved, even though was Finn Balor. Another guy that came from Ireland, another good Ireland. It's just like the fact that some of these guys are back home. I mean, and the fact that if you looked at the high promo, the fact that the career of Drew McIntyre is like, that's fucking nuts of how long Drew McIntyre
it was night and day, bro. Night and day. Because his first run in WWE, it fizzled.
It was super green.
It was green. He didn't even know what a hard cam was. It was just
like
he had a lot of learning to do. So he was put on the wayside. He leaves, goes to Impact, establishes himself, gets better.
And then he goes to the ICW.
For a little bit. He establishes himself even further, gets better. Goes back to WWE.
And gets a huge pop in NXT. Holy crap.
Gets a huge pop in NXT. Gets over in NXT. Gets the NXT championship. Comes up to the main roster as a heel working alongside Drew. Gets even more of a giant pop.
It's just like,
I'm like, he's going to have a better run. As soon as he got a pop on the main roster on Raw,
I'm like, this run's going to be matches since then.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, as soon as I saw that first pop when he debuted on Raw, I'm like, this man's gonna be a star.
It really is. And the fact, as crazy as the thing says, I feel like the fact before he won the world titles, like the fact he held the Intercontinental title. I think he also held
he held the IC title.
Yeah, the IC title.
He held.
Oh God!
No, we're not to cut it short. I'll be ending this soon. Anyway.
Yeah.
My brain broke because I was like, I'll be my brain broke because he said eat like 5 times. I was like eat.
But eat. But other than that, it's just like, I feel like with knowing Triple H, who's to say he might not bring back some of the other NXT type of talent that's that Vince basically quote unquote threw out. Guys like but then again, I'm trying to think of any. I don't think of the top one of my head because most of it are Vince's guys in the NXT, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, most of it are Vince's guys, but long story short, before I cut this short, so I can go.
Yeah, so we got to cut the short anyways because I got to get ready
ready for another stream.
WNBA between the Sky and Connecticut Sun at 8 o'clock.
But long story short, tide shifted in wrestling within a week. AW fix your shit, and WWE keep doing what you're doing.
But yeah,
and with that said,
it was another
episode, another successful episode
of the It's Real
Me podcast.
Absolutely.
And I don't care what anybody says. My brother just did should be the outro. I don't care what anybody just freaking says.
But with that being said, this is Robert Entire, representing the It's Real Me podcast. We're also representing the Spotlight Sports Network and the Philly Sports Talk podcast. All 3 channels in one. Appreciate everybody that's been hanging out with us for the last hour and 34 minutes. Just, kind of go over some wrestling news and stuff like that, and just, and stuff like that. But don't want to keep you guys any longer. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.